Hello, I hope you're well and enjoying the spring weather. Today I'm going to show you how to make salt dough. The idea is inspired by Mark Quinn, a contemporary artist who's made sculptures out of bread of his hands and Marie Antoinette, and craft ideas using salt dough to make food. You could try making something like these bowls moulded over a bowl, or traditional bread harvest. I'm thinking of making some heads, perhaps plaques that could go onto the wall, something like this, which has the features on the front and then is flat at the back. First of all, I'll show you how to make a plain salt dough, and then I'll show you how to make bread dough. I'm going to have a go at making dough with yeast as well, just to see what happens, which will have a different effect. For the salt dough, all you need: plain flour, some cheap salt, and water. So you need 2 cups of plain flour and a bowl. Put the flour in. It's my usual messy approach. And 1 cup of table salt. So once the dough's been left for 20 minutes, heat your oven up to 120 degrees Celsius, and then you're ready to model your dough. Don't get too large a piece because it doesn't support its own weight, or you might need to leave it to dry in between. I'm going to have a go at making a face of a poodle, like my dog. Remember, we're making a sort of plaque with a flat background, so I'm sort of building it up from a flat base. The poodle's eyes are quite close together. Then I'm going to draw the nose out like this. Mould the dough however you want it, and you can roll out or flatten pieces and cut them out and add them using warm water as a sort of glue. Then I'm going to put her on a baking sheet. Be careful not to stretch her when I pick her up. And then she can go in the oven for takes a few hours to dry through. Or if you don't want to bake, you can just leave to dry in a radiator, but obviously that will take days. Also going to experiment with using edible bread flour, which is going to rise in the oven, and see what happens. So in the bowl I've got 500 grams of strong bread flour, 7 grams of salt. Then I'm going to add some yeast, 1 sachet, some olive oil, about 10 grams. I've got no idea how much that is, so I'm just going to chuck a bit in and stir. Knead the bread like this for about 10 minutes and then put it in a warm place covered with a tea towel, 45 minutes, and then it's ready to model. Once you've modelled your bread dough, leave it for another 45 minutes to rise, then put it in the oven. These are the baked salt dough heads. You can put a hole in the back, I forgot to say this earlier, so you can hang them on the wall. And then I'm using watercolour paint to add colour. These could probably do more. This is the salt dough baked and painted, and this is the edible bread dough version. Delicious. What do you think, Bodhi? Have fun, look forward to seeing what you make.